Afternoon and good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream, episode 442. Hey, it's 400 plus the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Isn't that cool? Anyway,
Oh, damn.
we have gathered here today for Canadian Wednesday, of course, and it is we are pre-debate. It is the last day before the only English debate in this election.
Yeah, we're like 32 hours away.
Yeah,
It's the only debate that matters.
yeah,
Let's face
because
it.
apparently in this election, English Canada does not matter as much, even though we are the larger population. But hey, you know, and they're excluding, and I don't agree with this. They're excluding the Green Party and the PPC. And while I don't quite understand or quite agree with, I don't agree with anything the Green Party really has to say because
Yeah, their entire platform's kind
it
of crap.
doesn't, it's not feasible. And I find a lot of what Maxime Vernier has to say, he gets a little bit too hysterical on the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
He's a little
Some
bit.
things which is justifiable reason, but I know what you're saying. He gets a little up his own ass in the
Yeah,
hyperbole of things.
yeah. Um, but that being said, they do both hold official party status.
Mm-hmm.
They are on the ballot.
And even though the Greens have been on the decline and PPC has gone up, I think that they should both be represented
Yep.
there. They have the numbers to.
They should absolutely be at those debates because they're on the ballot. They have, it's not like this is some fledgling independent person.
No, and they represent thousands upon thousands of people.
Yeah,
Again, whether or not you like these parties, it doesn't matter. The numbers don't lie, and they should be there
absolutely.
because who's the one person who will take both O'Toole and Trudeau to task? It's
Yeah,
Maxime.
yeah. Give it. I may not like a lot of how he can comports himself, but
Yeah,
he absolutely would call out pretty much everybody on the stage
he's in that
equally.
regards. He's very much like Trump, or would be in the debates. He
Yeah.
would he would not be afraid to say what he says and to outright say, "Okay, well, you think gun violence is a problem here? How would you handle it?" Just as an example, we already know
Mm-hmm.
that they both the mono party over there wants to just ban assault weapons. This analogous term that we don't know exactly what it means, but like he would turn around and he would say, "Okay, I've got 2 minutes." He would talk about 2 minutes of his plan to deal with an issue rather than give stupid sound bites. Again, whether or not you agree with how he would handle things or disagree with how he would handle things, he comports himself like a politician, a representative, not a politician, should.
Yeah, he at least would out like whether you agree with the plan or not, he would at least tell you his plan. Unlike everybody else on that stage that would just be like, I have a plan, but I'm just going to like tap dance around what it is. I'm not actually going to tell anybody what it is. You guys
Oh,
have to guess.
and dude, I've got a bit of news. So
Mm,
we get our elections cards in the mail.
okay.
Did you guys get yours? Not yet.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. I'm not
Well,
sure.
normally I'd get mine and Elwyn's, but she hasn't been here for a little bit, so I just got mine. But I got two,
Oh.
and I'm not I'm not doxing myself. I'm gonna give a fake name, but it's my name is Jason Alexander Weisenheimer. Okay, so I
I
got
love
that.
it.
I got that elections card, but then I get one that says Jason Samuel Weisenheimer, and I'm like, who the fuck is Jason Samuel?
Just in case you might have a brother you don't know about, he can vote too.
I mean, I do, but that's the thing. I do have an alternate online persona who is my, for social media purposes, is my quote unquote, air quotes here, brother, in that he is Michael, I am Jason.
Yeah.
Okay? Just so that I can get around the Twitter bans, the Facebook bans, blah, 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 and still be able to do my business of buying and selling on the marketplace on Facebook.
Right.
So that would have made sense if that was at all tied to the government. It's not. And to have this name, so that aside, that's weird. That's weird, and it has the voter number,
yeah,
or the QR code. Sorry, the QR code to just sort of, you bring it to them and they scan it. But when I went online to report a false voter card, there was nothing to be found.
Awesome.
I tried calling the number. They're busy. Go figure. So I was like, okay, so I can't report voter fraud or potential voter fraud, or, that's at worst. At best, just an error in Elections Canada.
Mm-hmm.
That boggles my mind.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane.
It really lends itself to this narrative that Western politics are a sham. I still don't believe it. I believe that there's a lot flawed with it. I'm sure we all can find fault in the modern electoral system, which is still based on policies that we've set hundreds of years ago. But to not be able to because you can register online, you can opt in for a mail-in ballot online, but I can't report that you sent me a false Elections Canada card.
That's insane. That is absolutely.
Tell him about the CD.
Oh. So, Elections Canada sent something about accessible voting.
Okay.
To me.
Me as well.
In an envelope that, there was no braille to tell me what it was. Right? So, Pincalo was like, oh, this is from Elections Canada, and it's a CD. A CD that, how many, a CD-ROM, like a, big, full CD disc. My computer doesn't have a fucking...
Yeah, most modern computers don't have optical drives anymore. We've gone past that.
Yeah. But that's how they were trying to tell me about accessible voting.
Hey, dumbasses at Elections Canada, get with the times. Send them USB sticks.
Right?
The tiniest ones, like a 16 megabyte one, would run you pennies. Probably the same as a CD does at this point. And it weighs less, so the shipping is probably less as well. And that is accessible by everyone. Only people who rip and pirate music and DVDs and such, they're the only ones who have optical drives anymore.
Yeah. Or
people barely have CD players for music.
Yeah.
Even if they sent you an audio CD. That is so dumb. And how hard would it be to send you a Braille card?
Right.
That is redonkulous, Pincalo.
It was so stupid. It was so stupid. I can't I can't fathom it.
These people are in charge. And I'm not talking about the politicians, the Trudeau. I'm talking about the people who are working in these government offices who make these kinds of executive decisions to send blind people CDs for their elections information.
And when Pincalo and I go to vote, okay?
Yeah.
The ballot itself isn't actually in Braille. There's no Braille card really that says the names of everybody. There is a plastic overlay that you put on the paper ballot.
Okay.
And it's numbered 1 to 6 or whatever.
Right, so you just sort of have to feel your way.
And you have to check whatever box. But you don't know what candidate is for which box unless you have somebody cited
Which kind of defeats the purpose.
reading it to you. Like, there's no separate like master list that they hand out to the blind voter that the blind voter can like, okay, number 1 is the MP for this party, number 2 is whatever, and then I don't know, hand the master list back to the fucking person at the table when you submit your ballot. There's none of that. It's just, here's this plastic thing with braille numbers on it with little boxes that you check,
figure it out.
And you hopefully you have somebody with you to help read the paper to you, or one of us can come back there and help, like and then we just have to turn our back while you make your X.
Maybe it's better than nothing, but that's still an idiot way to do it. Typically, every election I've had to attend, there's always been a polling station. I have a mobility issue, for those who aren't aware in chat. And typically, my voting stations are within quite an easy walking distance. In fact, the last provincial election polling station was in a retirement home literally next to my building. I get it. COVID, retirement home, probably not the best idea right now. Yeah. However, there are churches, schools, public facilities, libraries within a reasonable walking distance for me. Can't walk very far, but I could do one of these. You know where my polling station is for this fucking place?
Where?
This fucking time around? 5 kilometers away.
Holy fuck.
5 kilometers away that I would have, if I walked, I would have to navigate through Eglinton Road, which is one of our main thoroughfares, east-west thoroughfares, that's currently under heavy construction because they're building a goddamn subway there, and I avoid like the plague because if the chances of falling with torn up concrete and dirt and debris everywhere, I avoid it like the plague. Everyone can ask Elwyn, like, if we need to walk there, we take an Uber because it's just not safe. Well, especially if I'm by myself.
An able-bodied person, that would take about an hour to walk one way.
Yeah.
5 kilometers.
That's the closest polling station. It was maybe 4.5 kilometers, but still, the point is,
that's
way over.
It's supposed to be like
easy and accessible.
Yeah.
They constantly go on Elections Canada about how they're all about the accessibility of voting, and if you are eligible to vote, they do everything they can to make it accessible. But listen to these 2 stories alone. That's not very accessible. That's not very fair.
And Pincalo just said, I think Elections Canada has already said they're not putting polling stations in schools this time. Yeah, I think I've heard that as well.
Yep. I have to go to a community center. Again, 4.6 kilometers away, which it makes me think, like, do I even want to bother voting? Because that's going to cost me like $20 in cab fare to go vote.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
As opposed to something that's like within arm's reach of my neighborhood. Okay, maybe don't put it in the schools. Again, there's a church right around the corner. There's a library about 400 meters up the road from me.
Yeah.
A public library. Okay, why not do that? In fact, last time Elwyn and I voted in a federal election, the last federal election, was at that very same library.
Yeah, I'm wondering where our polling station's going to be, because we've got a community center that's probably maybe close to 1 kilometer, but it's still close.
And I can understand
a couple of churches and
hopefully it's close for you guys. I mean, I could understand if I lived in a small town or a rural area, but I live in the big city, the biggest city in all of Canada. Yeah, you can make a little bit more of an exception for disabled people in that kind of circumstance, COVID or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Like I said, I understand not going to the old folks' home for the polling station. That kind of makes sense. We're not Cuomo up here.
No.
We're not gonna do the Great Meemaw Massacre 2.0 just because we need to vote. But there had to be a better solution than forcing people in a 10-kilometer radius into one area.
Well, and it's not just like people with disabilities. It's people who don't have transportation, who may have small kids.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're adding costs.
And don't have people to watch them for you. Like, so then you've got to wrestle the kids into the stroller or whatever and traipse your happy ass along with your stroller all the way up to vote.
It would be one thing if on voting day they made all transit free.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do on New Year's Eve.
They totally should.
Why not? They're pushing to make it a national holiday, which I think, whatever. You're legally entitled to take time off work. We're not the United States, so we have that in place. We don't need a national holiday. But yeah, like you're completely on the money with that.
Yeah.
We can do it for New Year's. Why can't we do it for voting day?
Yep, down here it's free for New Year's Eve and it's free for the 2 weekends of Oktoberfest.
And I get that. Those are big drinking holidays. It is a safety issue. Why not? Let's try to do something proactive to reduce the amount of drinking and driving and bad things that are associated with alcohol consumption, because we can't control what people do, but we can at least reduce some harm.
But let's also
Austin asks, can I take a bus? Yeah, I can take a bus. It just, again, my condition with the state of roads and the bumpiness and the shakiness, plus I can't wear a mask if I'm physically active, if I'm walking places. So it would be a last course of action, but again,
if you were walking there to the polling station, you wouldn't have to wear a mask while you were walking there.
Yeah, I'd be huffing and wheezing, but I wouldn't be choking.
You would only have to put it on when you got into the thing, which sucks.
In the polling station, yeah, which it sucks, but 3 minutes in, out, done.
Yeah.
And Elwin will attest to this. If a place is very adamant that I wear a mask inside their establishment, I generally put it on. Most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, places are totally cool with me not wearing a mask. They see me huffing and puffing, and they see that I have an assistive device. They generally don't. They say, "Hey, could you?" If they say anything, and I say I'm kind of exempt, and they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no problem." If they say anything. Yeah. And with the very few places that actually demand that I do, then I put it on, because generally I'm in and I'm out. If it's something like that I know is going to take me half an hour to an hour to do, like grocery shopping, then I'll just go to the next place that won't make me put the mask on. If a place is going to be that draconian about it. But whatever.
Gio, hey buddy. He says Gio. The road to hell is paved with used masks.
Gio, you know how we have floating that garbage island in the South Pacific? Pretty soon we're going to have Mask Island.
Yep.
Which is going to be this big wad of used masks. But hey, think about it this way, BP, in 2,000 years, there'll be single cellular life forms that'll be developing out of all that bacteria.
What the hell is that going to do?
Moving on, I think we've got some articles.
I think yes, we do. And while I'm pulling them up, I'm gonna update everybody. I did get the phone call to schedule the appointment for the assessment for my new computer and stuff.
Sweet.
And so I found out that I'm not gonna get as good a PC as I would like, because the funding is low for both laptops and desktops, because we also have to add in the cost of a screen reader.
Yeah.
So
those still aren't cheap.
Yeah. So what I decided to go with was the Mac Mini, which is a desktop computer, but it's just super small. And it's the newer, it's the 2021 Mac with the new Apple's newest processor. which is the big problem I'm having with running Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah.
Because while it is now accessible, my computer just can't run it.
It is pretty resource intensive.
Yeah, my laptop right now it cannot handle it. So this computer, the processing chip will be able to handle it, and I'm gonna get a model with 16 gigs of RAM, just to help that along.
Should be good.
And the Braille display, which is going to help me read the news for you guys without you guys having to hear link, 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 content frame. So
should be good, and you can't argue with free. I mean,
yeah.
It's not ideal, but I mean, hey, man, if it's gonna make the stream get a little bit better because you can do a little bit more, then hey, that's a blessing. That's awesome.
Now the shitty part is that a monitor is not covered.
Ugh.
So
yeah.
If anyone wants to buy some merch or hit up blindpress.net, please feel free to do so.
And you guys, you probably hear your favorite YouTubers and streamers say this all the time. If you can't do any of that, the bottom, the least you can do, share it on social media.
Absolutely.
Get some more eyeballs looking, because more eyeballs can equate to money in the end, and it costs you nothing but a couple of mouse clicks.
Couple of clicks, yep.
And that helps everybody. And you know what? If you hate us, share it out anyway. Be like, look at these turds. Downvote us. It helps with the engagement.
Saying.
Look at these crippled bastards. Susan, we can say that. That's our word.
They're all full of internalized ableism and shit.
I'm a brown white supremacist. I'm not really brown. Genetically, I kind of am, but physically, I'm not. I stay inside too much. I'm whiter than Ghastly.
I don't like the evil day star.
They say you daywalker.
Right?
I hire people to do my day walking for me.
I always make that joke because my mom is a ginger. And, if you look at me, I'm like, I'm a day walker. Look at me. I'm a day walker. I don't have the red hair, but I have the freckles. Right? I've got... that's... So apparently there are some photographers for Trudeau who are posting and then deleting things.
Oh boy.
So we're going to take a look at that. And this is written by Brian Lilly of the Toronto Sun, I believe. Is he Toronto Sun or National Post? I can't remember. He's Toronto Sun.
Lilly, I believe, is Sun, and I think he's one of the Toronto Sun, and I think he's one of the more level-headed contributors for the Sun.
Yeah.
Guys, for those that aren't really aware, the Toronto Sun is our very right-wing, quote-unquote right-wing news outlet, contrasted by the Toronto Star, Star. And they're kind of on that same camp as a Rebel Media kind of thing. Rebel goes a little bit more extreme, but they're in that sort of sphere of news sort of things. They've gotten better over the years. They've become a lot more journalistic as far as integrity goes. But Brian Lilly's actually been one of their best contributors, and I appreciate there.
Yeah. So this says Trudeau's photographer posts then deletes controversial images. Well, maybe you shouldn't be posting maybe you should review what you post. Be like, do I really want to post that? Instead of posting and going, oh shit. So let's take a look here. So we've got, of course, a picture of Mr. Trudeau, or Mr. Trudeau's photographer, named Adam Scott. Or Adam
Scotty.
Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up. I'm sure something tells me this Scotty is far less cool.
He's a ginger who kind of looks like Prince Harry.
So this says 2 photos posted online by Justin Trudeau's official photographer caused quite the stir over the long weekend, and may be part of the reason he deleted his Twitter account. Oh my!
He deleted his entire. Wow.
God damn, that wasn't. He didn't just delete the photos. He went like.
Kind of makes you wonder what the
nuclear.
photos are of, eh?
Right? Like that's a nuclear option, my friend. What did you do? Oh my god. What did Trudeau dress up as this time, says JB. I don't know.
He put in the big teeth, the glasses, and taped his eyes to the side. Doing a little Jerry Lewis Asian impressionism.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. He'd still get away with it.
Adam Scotty, Trudeau's photographer since 2013. Oh wow.
Sorry.
Posted one photo that appeared to show the Liberal leader in the sensitive area of a hospital. Okay. Well, another shot featured his boss's crotch. What?
Oh.
As the main element? What? Why?
As
Are we in fucking high school? What the fuck
As a
is going on?
Yeah, but okay, sure. As a photographer, you get weird shots sometimes. But those are kind of what we call throwaways. Those are photos that just sort of like go into a hard drive somewhere or get deleted, or you never really look like to post those throwaways to social media.
But is that really worth deleting your whole account? Like,
It's certainly weird.
I would
Very
be
weird.
embarrassed as a photographer to have posted those throwaways to my account, but I don't know if I would have deleted my entire account.
It'd be a joking moment.
I probably would have issued a tweet, kind of going, oh boy, did I ever, mess up, epic
Like,
photographer
yeah.
fail, something
Or say
like
something
that.
akin to like what I just said. And hey, for those who don't know, photography is kind of a hit or miss business where sometimes you get weird shots.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to post that. I apologize. Done.
Yeah.
It just, oh, wow. Somebody was not happy with that.
No. So
Christopher Freeland probably threatened to eat his face.
or maybe Sophie.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe Sophie got upset.
Yeah.
So let's say the online posting of those photos, both taken at Toronto's Jesus Christ.
UHN Hospital.
UHN. What is that? Stand for University. No. What is UHN? I don't think I've heard of the UHN hospital. I'm sure there are tons
University Health Network.
Okay.
It's it consists of like Princess Margaret, Toronto General, Toronto Western. It's just it's not a specific hospital, it's a series of group of hospitals.
Gotcha.
Why okay, so this is weird reporting, but both taking at Toronto's UHN hospital, there's no UHN hospital.
What it should have said was taken at a Toronto UHN
Oh,
hospital.
you know what it might have been? Their like central UHN
like headquarters, maybe?
Yeah, which isn't I don't think it's a real like hospital per se. It's more administration and stuff.
Right.
I could be mistaken. I'm looking it up now because it does seem very weird.
Like if it's a group of hospitals, then I would have said taken at a Toronto UHN Hospital, and then in brackets like University Health Network.
Yeah, because Michener Institute of Education at UHN. So yeah, it is a hospital. It's like a teaching hospital.
Gotcha.
I get it. Okay. So he was in like one of the smallest hospitals in that network.
But apparently he was at a sensitive area of that hospital.
Okay.
So the online posting of the photos, both taken at Toronto's UHN hospital, have now been deleted. In one photo of Trudeau visiting the University Health Network in downtown Toronto, it appears to show the PM speaking to healthcare workers in a ward setting, given restrictions. Blah, 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 blah. I can speak, I promise. Given restrictions on hospital visits throughout COVID-19, the image caused outrage among many who said they were denied of a chance to see ill or dying loved ones. Yeah, I think I'd be a little bit pissed too if I couldn't go see my freaking hospitalized or dying family member, but Trudeau got to go in and be a photo op.
Yeah, that fucking turd burglar. Again, rules for thee, but not for me. Gets to go in just for a fucking photo op while people are waiting to at home because they can't go to the hospital just because someone might be dying or going under the knife or having any number of serious things that they're in hospital for and they can't go in. Or if they can, it's extremely restrictive.
Yeah. But Trudeau gets to waltz in there. And
it makes me so angry.
Yeah. That's not fair. I would be very upset if I were, the family, but even if I were a patient that was conscious enough to, understand that there are these restrictions, like I would be like, what the fuck is he doing here? And my family can't come in here.
I would have crawled down the freaking hallway of that hospital, IVs sticking out of my arm and everything, just to scream at him.
Yeah.
I would be livid.
I would be like, why are you here and my mom or my brother or my wife
or my kids can't see me?
Go away. That's what I'd be like, go away.
This is...
Oh, that makes me... Oh.
So the crotch shot is kind of the least of his problems with this. Because something very direct and egregious happened. Maybe it was the fact that, not because it was a crotch shot, but maybe it was because it was photos of him in the hospital.
Maybe.
And then there was a backlash, and the damage control team was like, no, delete it all. Get rid of it all.
Yeah,
Scrub it. Get rid of it.
So this continues to say, a spokesperson for UHN, though, said Trudeau never entered any hospital ward areas. Well, then what's the picture of?
There we go. That's why they were scrubbing it.
Mr. Trudeau, or quote, Mr. Trudeau did not go onto the ward, said UHN spokesperson Jillian Howard.
2 feet away.
He, quote, he stopped in the doorway of a unit on his way out, on his way out of the building, and spoke to the nurses who were there at the time, or at the doorway. The shot is down the hallway of the unit from the door. Wait, so he wasn't on the ward, but he was on the ward. He was just in the doorway, and his photographer was down the hallway of the unit, which was on the ward. But he wasn't on the ward.
Damage control. It's bullshit.
He was
because
on the ward, but he wasn't
can't.
On the ward.
COVID can't go if you're standing just outside the doors of the ward. It can't go past the doors, the open doors that he's standing in while talking to nurses. That's not how COVID works, BP.
No,
apparently.
That's not how. Apparently, COVID, it recognizes important people like Justin Trudeau, And it suspends its natural viral process while he's in the area. Like, what the fuck? He wasn't in the ward, but he was in the doorway of the unit. That means the door was open, and his photographer had to go into the unit. You said it was from down the hallway of the unit, which means the photographer went on the ward, like went into the unit, and went and took a picture of Trudeau in the doorway, which is still in the unit.
And remember, I made the distinction at the top of the show between politician and representative. This is how you know somebody's a politician. Because they do things just for photo ops, just for clout, for optics.
Yeah.
They don't care about the people they're supposed to represent. It's the difference between the politician and the representative.
Geodes is asking, how many laws has Trudeau broken at this point? Oh,
big laws, small laws, medium laws. Like
he's playing law-breaking roulette at this point. He's just like spinning the wheel, and whatever it lands on, he's like, okay, I'll do that now.
Yeah, it is stark contrast to Trump. Again, I hate to compare them, but like when he says jokingly, yeah, I could go out into the middle of 34th Street or whatever in New York and shoot somebody and people would still vote for me. That was a joke. That was hyperbole saying, yeah, he could probably muck up a bit and people would still vote for him. This guy, he's just protected. He's literally breaking laws left and right, some of which he helped to even create, if we're talking about something like this. And he's so well protected from the media, just like Sleepy Joe.
Yep.
Again, it shows you the difference between a politician and a representative. Yeah. Representatives are held to task for the things that they do. If somebody mucks up and they apologize and they, make a statement, hey, maybe I shouldn't have gone to that hospital ward. I made a mistake. I was thinking to sort of, touch roots or blah, 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 give us sort of some lip service, but still apologize and make it heartfelt. Okay, I might not have agreed with it, but you did the right thing. You owned up to it.
Yeah.
This guy never owns up to anything. He's constantly deflect, protect, deny, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. Like, it's so frustrating. This continues to say, Howard said that Trudeau did not visit or interact with any patients, and all protocols were followed. She added that the hospital the hospital would welcome a visit from any party leader who wanted to discuss funding for healthcare or research. Well, as long as they're showing up and talking to you about giving you money, I'm sure you don't care what they do.
Any party leader, right? So if Maxime tried to do that,
right?
You don't think he would get arrested? Or O'Toole, and then the liberal media would attack him for oh, he's going into hospital. What if he has COVID? Don't pretend like this is fucking...
What the fuck? Pink Olive says, okay, I must be hallucinating. I just passed a 3-story tall rubber duck on Highway 6.
You don't know about the rubber duck, man? Dude, that thing was... Oh, God. He constantly, they'll bring him up to cottage country, float him in one of the lakes. He was down in Lake Ontario back when I was a chef on the water. Constantly out there. There's yeah. But, dude, I would just make sure that you're, not hallucinating. Sure.
Oh, my God, that was so random. Well, I mean, Highway 6 is quite a good highway to possibly just start hallucinating. You're just driving and driving and driving and driving and... okay. As Trudeau speaks with a health worker in the atrium at UHN, The camera is aimed under the table, giving prominence to the groins of both of of both. Unlike the healthcare worker, Trudeau's legs are spread wide open and not blocked by a table leg. He's man-spreading the bastard. Oh my god. That's just... That's just beautiful. The male feminist was man-spreading. Oh god, okay. The photo isn't the kind a political leader, especially in an election, would feature online. No shit! As discussion grew about Scotty's bizarre photos, his Twitter account was deleted. Oh. Alright then. Quote, I deleted my Twitter today because I could not handle people who think teaching their kids this kind of hatred is okay. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? You think kids are tweeting at you? You really think that kids are tweeting at you? Or do you think that because people are making fun of your idiocy and your portrayal of an already stupid looking prime minister, you think that they're teaching their children to go randomly throughout the world just hating on people? You don't think that sometimes ridicule is justly deserved? Like, it's called humility, dude. Sometimes, when you get ridiculed, you gotta be like, yeah, that was really dumb. Ha 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 ha. Stupid me.
Can you PM me the link for this?
Yes.
Because I want to actually, like, it. I think it has the photos embedded. I want to take a look and just sort of judge for myself if it's, that bad, or if it's just, like I said, an oopsie.
Where is it here?
And again, if he just owned it and said, it was weird, it was something I just didn't think of, I made a mistake, I'll just delete the photos. Like, yeah. Oopsie. Okay, fine. Because he's on Trudeau's payroll. He's not a private photographer. If it was a private photographer and someone said, you got to delete this right away, then I'd be kind of like a little bit, whoa.
There you go. It's in Discord. But it's like, and it's just, and he's like, I deleted my Twitter account because I can't handle that people would teach their kids this much hatred. What do people's children have to do with anything? Honestly, do you think the kids on Twitter give a fuck about politics right now?
Okay, well, certainly, it looks like he's in one of the commons areas, maybe next to, like, the cafe, outside on a bench. And then that ward photo definitely looks like he's in a ward.
Yeah.
He's in a ward. He's not, like, in a doorway. And then the last one, it's a stupid photo of somebody and him sitting, one person squatting, he's sitting at the table, he's wearing Crocs for some reason, Crocs and socks. He's wearing Crocs and socks, people!
Crocs is bad enough, but socks with Crocs?
You know what? That to me, so, like, the people aside, because you obviously can't tell who it is if you don't know what you're looking at.
Right.
Is just that's an interesting shot. It's like a human interest shot. Like, just a day in the life of a human being kind of abstract sort of shot. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. I still find that the other shot of him being in the ward is a little bit more egregious.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that.
One of the top comments, dig those Ronald McDonald socks. in his
Mhm.
Crocs.
Jesus, that's just I. Why would you wear socks? First of all, why would you wear Crocs? And second of all, why would you wear socks with them?
I wear them in my apartment because I have mobility issues. It helps
Yeah.
me from slipping on hardwood floors. That makes sense.
But if you were out on the election trail,
I admit to my wife they look silly, but they're fully functional. So I'm gonna swallow my pride and wear them. But I'm not gonna go out to put on socks, put them back on, and go to the store in Crocs. That just come on, man.
If you're I don't know, on the campaign trail, perhaps put on some nice black shoes, maybe some dress shoes.
Some normal people shoes. Hell, I don't care if you're wearing trainers or runners or whatever the hell people call sneakers, whatever people call them. Just Crocs, really?
Crocs, flip-flops, not footwear you should be wearing when you're campaigning for the leadership of a country.
That's extreme leisure wear. Okay,
Yeah.
If you're gonna be wearing, nice proper leather shoes, that's one thing. You're exuding professionalism, a certain you're trying to portray something.
Yeah.
You're wearing trainers or running shoes or whatever. Okay, you're saying, hey, I'm wearing something that's functional. I've got a lot of ground to cover today, a lot of hands to shake, a lot of people to talk to. I'm gonna wear something functional so my feet don't get blown out.
Yeah.
And blistered. That I can understand. I'm gonna wear Crocs because I'm a lazy son of a bitch who probably gets carried around on a fucking what do you call it when you have the little slave boys with the bars and they're carrying you along?
Oh yeah. I can't remember the old term for that.
The dais, the parapet.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, that's just
So this says protesters at Trudeau's campaign events are punching above their weight. And this is from the guy. This is an opinion. This is from the Nanas, the guy who does the Nanas polls. Nick Nanas, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And he's an insufferable little. I've heard him. CPAC, one of the people from CPAC, had him on when the election writ was due to be called on the Sunday. And goddamn, Nick Nanas is insufferable.
An extremely partisan person,
very
basically being able to control who goes to the debates. I'm shocked. Shocked, I say.
Super shocked. So, hold on here. Why are you being such an asshole, Chrome? Stop that.
Because we're trying to report on stupid shit. I'll save the comments till after. Because I have a feeling I know where this is going. Palaquin, thank you, Lord Famine. Palaquin, that's where you carry your betters, your monarchy.
Yes.
On the backs of slaves. Anyway.
Toronto. The small but vocal groups of protesters that have dogged Liberal leader Justin Trudeau at his political rallies are disrupting his messaging, according to pollster Nick Nanas. That's the fucking point! We've had 6 years of his messaging. We don't want to hear it anymore.
How dare these plebs voice their opinions in public to our glorious leader, no less? How dare they?
God.
How dare they? Everybody should be falling at his feet, on their knees,
touching the ground.
Kissing his feet, the ground he walks on. They should be using their tongues to clean the sidewalk before he walks by.
Yep.
Unlike, again, other political leaders who have thousands and hundreds of people who show up to cheer them on. But, let's not talk about that.
No. It's, quote, it's been a distraction for Trudeau. He's not been able to get his message out, Nana said on Wednesday's edition of CTV's Trendline podcast. Quote, these folks are punching above their weight. Get fucked, Nick Nanas. Yes, how dare people show up and express their displeasure with somebody that, had 2 chances. He got 2 chances. He got 2 chances over 6 years to do something differently. And he did something differently, all right. But he ended up fucking us.
And he was in the unique position of all the current leaders to show his message.
Yep.
Through his action and inaction. And he's proven that no, he doesn't have a message that the average Canadian likes.
Well, and he's had how many months in front of the camera every day during COVID?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. He's had plenty of time to get his message out.
Yeah.
And we don't like it. And we're allowed not to like it. And we're allowed to tell him so. Nobody's showing up to... nobody's getting hurt at these protests. I haven't heard any stories about people getting injured. I haven't heard any... I even read a story where the police specifically did not arrest anybody who showed up at one protest. And this is... for a pollster, for a pollster who's supposed to, poll people and get their opinion, for him to say that people are disruptive, and say that as if it's a bad thing, protests they're supposed to be disruptive. They're not supposed to be, destructive, but they're supposed to be disruptive. That's the point.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what a protest is. Non-violent protest. It is your, I hate using this word because I'm an atheist, but colloquialism, it is your God-given fucking right to speak up, have your voice heard.
Yeah.
Shout to the moon. Nobody has the obligation to listen to you.
Oh, of course they are, Pincalo. He says, as of this morning, the CTV is starting to label these protesters as anti-vax. Yeah, that's the only thing that people are mad at Trudeau about. That's it. Nothing else that he's done over the past 6 years. It's only vaccine mandate. That's
not SNC Lavalin, not blackface, not the Me to We charity. No, none of that. None of that. None of dogging veterans in their promises to make veteran affairs better. Not promises to revamp some of the law, especially when it comes to electoral reform and bring it into the 21st goddamn century. No, none of that. All because they're anti-vax.
No, it couldn't possibly be that he touts being all for, helping women and gender equality and crap, but the minute a woman stands up to him and tells him, no, it's illegal to let this contract company frickin' work with people in Libya, you idiot.
He pats her on the head and says, that's cute. Your tiny girl brain is actually just trying to say something.
That's super adorable. Now you don't have this post anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? No, it's none of that. It's none of that. It's only the vaccine shit.
Mm-hmm.
You disingenuous bastards.
He's turned Canada into an actual joke. Before, there's friendly ribbing between our American friends, our British friends. Oh, you guys are so nice. What are you going to do about it? Those kinds of, friendly
Yeah.
jibs and jabs. He has actually turned us into an actual joke.
Yeah.
Like, other people from outside of the country look at us and go, you losers.
You're
and
the
then,
country with that
if it's-
moron leader.
But if it's an American, I go, hey, Sleepy Joe, know your role, because if given the choice, I think we're in a better situation. But yes, we are a joke because people keep voting this douchebag back into office.
Yeah.
And so that reflects on us as the electorate. May not have voted for him, but that's still, that's the people flexing their political power. We the people, we are the people.
So this carries on to say, from the outset of the campaign, groups of protesters have regularly visited Trudeau's events to express their anger over COVID-19 vaccines and other pandemic measures. Yes. While the majority of the protests have been mostly peaceful, things took a turn on Monday when protesters pelted the Liberal leader, members of his security detail, and journalists covering his campaign with gravel in London, Ontario. Okay, yeah, no. Do not throw rocks at people.
Yeah, protesters, check that shit.
Even if
Don't
you
care.
hate them, do not throw rocks at them.
Doesn't matter how angry you are in the moment. There's no excuse for it. As you can see in the media, they're going to use that as ammunition. One isolated incident has now been, the majority of protests have been mostly peaceful, which is technically true, but one outlier. One.
Not to mention, the minute you start throwing shit like rocks, like, you're risking injury to not only you, and other people around you, because, you're all in a group and you're throwing rocks, but also you could be,
arrested. You could hurt somebody.
You could seriously.
What about the
injure
backlash?
somebody,
What if his security detail turned around and pointed guns at the crowd? And then what if somebody got something that was a little bit bigger than a piece of gravel, like a small rock, and hit one of those security detail in the head and drew blood? Then a bullet might start flying. Like, it's just bad idea. Bad idea. Do not do that. And this is coming from a person who I'd like to see nothing more than something accidentally happen to him.
Yeah.
But don't take it upon yourself to harm somebody.
No.
Resort to violence. We are better than that.
No, that's not how you protest. You don't need... You absolutely... You have the absolute right to be furious with Trudeau. You don't have the right to start lobbing things like... You don't have the right to lob.
The only thing you have the right to lob at him is your words.
Yep. Well, gravel is... Gravel can
tiny stones.
Gravel can get pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it can be pointy as fuck.
Like I said, what if somebody grabbed a bigger piece that was jagged, drew some blood on somebody,
or a handful of it?
You never know. Or a handful of it and got it in somebody's eyes.
Yep.
And blinded them.
Yep.
At worst. I mean, we're talking about kind of the extremes here of what if, but still, the what if shouldn't be a part of the conversation because you shouldn't be resorting to violence at all. At all.
Yeah. Mostly peaceful like Antifa. Yeah. She has very good costume.
And that's a good analogy to other rhetoric that's been said in the news. Again, we're very influenced up here by American media. Those things are nowhere near equivalent.
Yeah.
But the rhetoric is the same. So they're going to then, the casual news viewer is going to say, oh, mostly peaceful like Antifa, like half of American cities burning.
Hello, Scribbles.
Hey, Scribe, good video today. really enjoyed the what if segment, because this one was a very interesting one to have been there for his commentary.
I've got to watch it. I haven't had a chance.
It was
to,
good.
but I'm
It
gonna
was good.
watch it.
Yeah.
So this says, although no one was hurt, London police said they are investigating the incident. Well, yeah. In the event's aftermath, Trudeau was repeatedly asked about the incident and the level of security at his rallies during stops in Ontario and Quebec.
Delivery. Be right back.
No worries. At the beginning of the week, quote, I think it's had an impact on the Liberal campaign and the Liberal messaging for sure, Nannis said. Quote, these folks are basically on a mission to defeat Justin Trudeau and to disrupt his campaign. And at least in terms of disrupting the campaign, they're doing a pretty good job because he's talking about them. Dude, we're allowed to want to defeat Justin Trudeau. We're allowed not to want him here anymore. What the Why is that a bad thing? Why are you saying that people have this want to defeat Justin Trudeau and get Justin Trudeau out of the Prime Minister's office? Why is that bad? Like, how much more partisan and biased could you possibly be, Mr. Nannis? Like, holy crap. That is insane. Even though the protesters are stealing the spotlight from the Liberals' policy pledges, Nannis said they had also given Trudeau the opportunity to come out strongly against their behavior and potentially earn more support from those who are opposed to violence on the campaign trail. Okay, this is the other reason why you don't need to be throwing rocks at people. The minute you start that shit, the minute you lose public support. And the more public support you gain, the more of a chance you have of succeeding on getting Trudeau gone. The more public support you lose, the more people will vote for him. So, really, stop throwing gravel and rocks and shit at people. It's not helping. I don't think Canadians had any problem with those individuals coming out and protesting any political party leader, including Justin Trudeau. But as soon as you start throwing gravel or whatever, you cross that line, Nannis said. That I'll agree with him on. That I will agree with him on. Suddenly, the whole concept of people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones makes sense. Exactly, Lewin. Exactly. So let's see here. Trudeau has become increasingly vocal in his criticism of the protesters at his events. In recent days, describing them as, quote, anti-vaxxer mobs who are, quote, practically foaming at the mouth in anger. Yes, Trudeau, you poor thing. You are being plagued by anti-vaxxer mobs that are foaming at the mouth, not people who are sick of your crap. No, it's not that. It's specifically anti-vaxxers that are the problem. And people who are against mandatory vaccines are the problem. They're anti-vax. That's it's all anti-vaxxer mobs, Trudeau. It's not you being a bad leader and people protesting it. It's just crazy anti-science people. Poor me. Help, help, help. Quote, they want to make their shouting and their aggression over a democratic process. What? What democratic process are you speaking of? We will not let them win, he said during an announcement in Montreal on Tuesday. Okay. The Liberal leader wasn't alone in his condemnation, with Conservative leader Aaron O'Toole, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet, and People's Party of Canada leader Maxime Bernier, all denouncing the violence this week. Yeah, like I said, the minute you start putting violence to your protests, the minute you lose the public support you need to actually turn the tide against the person you don't like, the minute you lose that support, the minute they are more likely to go vote for that guy.
Mm-hmm. I would, and you know what? Just to play devil's advocate, JB says, maybe it was infiltrators, a gay op. Maybe. I mean, it's always a possibility, but in that same breath, like, if anyone were to, I believe that he would be the type of person to do something like that. But I mean, the message is the same. Don't use violence.
Pincalo says, we are not a fucking democracy. Well, technically, no, we're not. We're a parliamentary system. There's not been true full on democracy since ancient Greece,
Mm-hmm.
where everybody voted on everything.
Yeah, I mean, it can quote unquote work in a very small scale.
Yeah,
but you can't have it. When people say democracy, though, we know what they mean. It's a idiom that says, sort of like, we are a representative parliamentary system. Down south, they're a representative republic that uses a democratic style system.
Yeah.
But he's right. Nobody's a democracy. That would be stupid. Democracy, like a democracy, a democratic system of government, would just be ridiculous. That's just mob mentality, and you could never get the mob to agree on something. So it would just be a futile attempt. It's so dumb.
Yeah. A fucking democracy is for brothels.
Good one.
Well done.
Yeah, Pincalo, it's you're not wrong. There are some dumb people, and you'll notice that those are the simpler people tend to be the ones who are quicker to anger and lash out physically.
Yep. Hey, Trippy.
But hey, at least we got all the party leaders to agree on something, right?
Right? Exactly.
Jesus Christ. All it took was somebody throwing.
All we can agree on, everybody can agree on, not throwing stones at people.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh God.
We've graduated to first grade levels. Awesome.
Like I look at the calendar and I'm like, 2021. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's 1800s.
Right?
Like really, this is what we have to. We have to say that violence is bad. We have to say that. We have to say don't eat Tide Pods.
Like what's next is freaking is Trudeau gonna run up and smack Aaron O'Toole with a glove and be like, "Sir, I challenge you to a duel. We meet tomorrow at dawn." And the twist, it was actually Gravel the medicine, says JB.
Maybe he was feeling a little nauseous from the bullshit that he spews from his mouth.
Maybe.
Anybody have any gravel? And then the idiot was like, gravel? Yeah, I got your gravel right here, Trudeau.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we have reached the end of the show, but have no fear. Functional and I will be back tomorrow for the debate, which starts at 9 p.m. So we should probably start the stream maybe at like
8:30.
8:30.
Sounds good to me.
So yeah.
So guys, join us tomorrow on the
Yep.
VP channel. We'll be covering that. We'll be talking about it in real time. We'll be picking apart the arguments, the rhetoric, and everything else that comes along with the debate, and hopefully have a couple of laughs because we're going to get a little sauced.
Oh yeah. It'll be fun.
And you know, Uncle Functional over here, he gets pretty belligerent when he gets sauced. That's why I don't get sauced that often.
Well, you hate the French debates. Well, it's a good thing we're not covering the French debates.
Nah, this will be English.
So, and also, don't forget to come see me tonight on Twitch for some Mortal Kombat.
Finish him.
Yes, exactly. And I'm practicing my Joker because a friend of mine is doing a fully blind King of the Hill. He's setting it up on PlayStation
Cool.
for September 25th, which is a Saturday. And we're playing for, I think right now the pot's at $125. So we're playing for some actual money.
And some money, and of course, there's always the bragging rights.
Yes, of course. So and that will be on my friend Blindcito's Twitch channel. I'll be sharing his link out closer to the event.
Cool.
But yes, come watch me practice tonight on Combat League. And I'll see everybody for Friday's coffee stream and for the debate tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye. Don't